Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You are here with me. That is Ekua Ahima, founder of the AfroDomme Network Academy and Magazine. And as today's title suggests, we are going to be talking about how to start making more money in financial domination. If you are new to my page, new to my channel, new to my live, welcome. As I said in the beginning, my name is Goddess Ekua Ahima, and over the last several years, since 2017, I have not only been able to scale myself to six figures using financial domination, but have over 4,000 Black femme entrepreneurs do exactly the same. So, for more information, you can find that down below in the description box. But tonight's topic was actually highly requested from our community page. So if you want to participate in next week's poll, taking a vote on what topics you want me to cover, etc., make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you can see. But I'm pulling some questions from one, my inside community inside of the AfroDomme Network, and two, some questions from my students. So, today's topic again, how to earn more money in financial domination. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what financial domination is, as a general statement, general definition, financial domination is the dom sub act of exchanging power through monetary gifts and value. I have a couple of other videos here on YouTube about it, but I want to stay specifically on the topic tonight because I'm going to be here for a limited time, answering some questions, and then getting to the students who are inside of our community. So I'm tapping in with those people now. So in relation to financial domination, today's video is going to be for you if you are at a point in your career where um, you're ready to advance, you're ready to grow, you're ready to and start investing into your marketing efforts or photography or vacations, or there's some type of new goal, new ambition that you have in your career and your experience in financial domination where you're craving more money, you're craving more financial freedom, you're looking for a certain amount of income that quite honestly you're not seeing right now. And I know for a lot of new DOMs, when it comes to knowing how to scale yourself in this industry is super, super difficult sometimes, especially when you don't have a blueprint, especially when you not aren't in coaching, you don't have a mentor, or you're not in an environment, or you don't have a community where people are supporting you, or maybe even doing the same thing as you. Because a lot of people feel like that doesn't make a difference when it comes to really navigating this industry. But if you're someone like myself who started online, then you know that this industry can be quite isolating. So having people around you who you can connect with, who you can collab with, work with, etc., people to hold you accountable, it does make a difference. And one of the reasons for myself and from what I've seen from working with over 4,000 students is a lot of people aren't as successful as they want to be because they don't have a network, they don't have a system in place where they can fall back on a girlfriend who's going to hold them accountable for filming clips, or someone who can show them, okay, so now that you are building a platform on social media, now that you have sales funnels on XYZ platforms, this is how you're going to now start to scale yourself in this business with financial domination. And take it and use it to build financial freedom, passive income, all of the she poo poo things that sound good, but really putting the work into actually making that happen. Because a lot of people just want to show the glitz and the glam, and that's why I'm very transparent and very realistic about my experience and the experience with my students. But a lot of people show this like one side of financial domination, but never the underbelly and all of the work that goes into making it happen and making it look good. Right? A lot of people feel like, I've even heard in my experience of scaling up myself, a lot of people feel like once you get to a certain level, oh, you have this mass wave of clients. It's nothing for you. You're making your own money. Um, And I've even had people go as far as questioning why I wasn't giving them one of my subs. Like, oh, if you're putting me on, if you're trying to be my mentor, you're trying to be my coach, why wouldn't you give me one of your subs that's paying you? Don't you have plenty of subs? And the answer is yes, I do. Of course I do. But I've built relationships with those clients. And if you come into this industry thinking that even if you're paying someone to be a mentor, even if you're paying someone from coaching or for coaching, that that person is supposed to give you a client and you don't know how to maintain clients, you don't know how to build relationships with clients, that's a wasted opportunity. And that wastes the relationship that I have with this client, right? Because you're trying to jump ahead of the gun. So there's a certain underbelly of financial domination and moving in this industry from the perspective of an entrepreneur that a lot of people don't talk about. And one of those things is scaling. If you're at a point where, like I said, you feel like you are, there's two sides to every coin. Some people are going to resonate with this video because they're at a point where they are watching other people get $1,000 days, $10,000 tributes, 4-figure, 5-figure, 6-figure tributes, and they aren't getting it just yet, right? Your peers are surpassing you, so to speak, or that's how it feels. Your peers are manifesting things that you want for yourself. So you're manifesting $1,000 day, but one of your Dom girlfriends or someone that you follow on Twitter at least got $1,000 day, but you didn't. Or maybe you did, or maybe you got something, but it wasn't enough, right? So there's some people who are going to be in that kind of phase of transition in their career with this, that they're ready to escalate to a higher level. You want those high value 4-figure, 5-figure, 6-figure clients, and you want to do it with consistency. There are other people who've been in this industry for a long time. And because you've been in here for a long time, hey love, thanks for joining. Because you've been in the industry for such a long time, for a lot of people, you figure a lot of this shit out by yourself. Like I share all the time in my experience with the AfroDomme Network that there was literally nothing like this when I came in the door in 2017. 4,000 women in an organization is a beautiful and amazing feat to have. It truly is, and I'm blessed to be able to create something like this for this industry. But there was nothing like this before. And a lot of the time, especially for myself, out of 6 years, I was doing a lot of shit just figuring it the fuck out. And that's where a lot of us are. So there's some other people who are going to resonate with this video because they've been in it for a long time. And if you've been in it for just as long as I have, or even longer than me, then you may even see how far I've come myself in such a short time. Either the same amount of time than you or shorter than the amount of time that some of you have been in the industry. If you're watching this video and you're that age. And still, you're at a precipice, you're at a point in your career because it happens. The pandemic, the world shut down, ebbs and flows, it happens. You're at a point where either way, you're ready for that turnover. You're ready for the paid vacations. You're ready for possibly retiring. You're ready for the next chapter of your life where you can take financial domination and the experiences that you've had here and really the money that you've made here. Because if you're doing it right, how you can take the experiences and how you can take the money and the cash flow that you've manifested here, that you've created here for yourself, and if not double that, make it something that lasts you if you're about to walk out of the industry and retire on that money, or something that puts you in the next phase of your life with owning another business or traveling the world or going back to school, right? Thinking long term. And I speak like this just because this is how we are. I don't feel like being, for me, a financial dominatrix is something that's outside of who I am and the values and beliefs that I have about creating wealth for myself and financial freedom and being in the space and the environment where I'm surrounded by women who think the same. So these are the kind of conversations we have inside of our network. And hey, love, thanks for joining us. I see you. Mwah. It's important to know that if you're in this place, it's the right time, it's the right reason, right for a reason. Retrograde is over, all of that good shit. But it's time for us to elevate ourselves to a higher level of financial domination. I spoke about it before where um, we're at a point where financial domination is popular, but not a lot of people know how to do it successfully. And even some of the people who, on the outside looking in, for some of you who are completely new to the industry and just coming here for research and finding it for the first time, there are some people who are in this industry who are popular, but don't know what the fuck they're doing. So we're at a point where, industry speaking, as an advocate for the community, we're at a point where, and I've said this in a previous video, it's becoming more popular, but then people are finding out that it's hard work and it takes something. So it's like the scales are now balancing out. This like surplus, this oversaturation of people attempting to be doms and trying this and that and a third. Everybody wants to be a Findom. Meg the Stallion dresses like a dominatrix, and it's the hot thing right now. It's the hot thing to be a hot girl, and a hot girl is a dom. Everybody knows that. But right now, it's starting to die out. The fall for me and my girls inside of the AfroDomme Network is always the most profitable because around this time, there's some people, no shade, no tea to them, come to the industry. They try to have OnlyFans selling foot pics for a few months for the summer. You try getting a sugar daddy for 6 weeks, that didn't work out. So now it's time to delete your page and go somewhere else. Whereas the ones who are dedicated to this, who are serious about investing in it, and even if you don't have a lot of knowledge, you know that there's some part of you that can commit to showing up and seeing what this is for you. We know, at least inside of the AfroDomme Academy, that now that that's dying out, the demand for what we do, truly, when you are a professional, the demand for what we do is about to increase. So the opportunity to, quite honestly, make the most amount of money in financial domination, and this is just based off of 6 years of my professional research with myself, studying my own income trends and the income trends of over 4,000 of my clients, working with them, and not to put any of their financial business and things out like that out, but really just being transparent with my clients and them being transparent with me as an educator, studying the trends of when Black women in this industry who are creative, who can present this in a very unique way, who know how to stand out and who are committed to this. This right now is the money making season. September to December, holiday season. 'Tis the season when niggas cut a check for no reason, quite literally. It's always the fall. Hot girl summer is cute, but there's an influx of girlies who think that they can sell OnlyFans pictures of their feet, and then they realize don't nobody want them busted ass toes. Okay. But the fall is the season. So it's not only timely that we have this conversation, but it's necessary based on trends. One of the ways that you can really start maximizing your income in financial domination is travel. For me, for those of you who are in a part of my network and follow me and have been following me for years, um, you guys already know that I plan at least once a year an annual trip, a sub-funded annual vacation. I go book a trip with my girlfriends, and it is inevitably paid for by my clients, by my FinSubs. And for me, traveling during this time of year not only expands my network as a Findom, but gives me the opportunity to make content in other places. And that takes me international. It spreads me across from the just online world, just Twitter, to now being somewhere else, being in another country. And not only is it another stamp in the passport, hello, a free vacation, hello, but it's something that professionals do in any industry. When you truly want to grow, you have to expand out of your norm. You have to get out of your box. So I encourage a lot of you to get your passport. If you don't already have your passport, I encourage you to get your passport. If you're a new dom, your first $1,000 day with us, if you're smart enough to be enrolled in the AfroDomme Network right now for our class, you got in while it was on sale. Otherwise, you can still join us, but it's not on sale anymore. But once you get your first $1,000 day as a new student, make sure that you invest in a passport if you do not already have one. A passport, a really good travel bag, um, and plan out, even if you can't book it right now, plan out a couple of trips that you want to take, national or international. And I'm saying this to say, expanding your network, you never know who you can see in new cities. You never know what kind of opportunities you can come across. And then at minimum, like I said, all content is good content. You traveling is good content. You being in a hotel, for those of you who are new, who don't have film spaces, you don't have the luxury of being able to dedicate a specific room or an entire apartment or home to your work as a financial dominatrix and have a private dungeon or things like that. Maybe not yet. So traveling, for those of you who are, you know, of age, 21 and up, of course, watching this video, who don't have the ability to film where you are, or record content where you are, or perhaps attend parties or sessions. You traveling and going to nice hotels and stuff like that is good content, whether you link up or not. So it's always presents an opportunity best to make those kind of moves, and you never know. We have not released our event schedule for 2024 with the AfroDomme Network just yet, but once we do, it will be available for our students and members inside of our private network. And this is why it's important to start traveling, right? Because at minimum, you want to come to our events, you want to come to our networking brunches. For those of you who are just kind of getting onto the wave and you're not familiar with some of the events that we've hosted here in Baltimore before, downtown, here with the AfroDomme Network. For several years, we've hosted the annual crab feast, the business and brunch crab feast here in Baltimore, previously downtown, and then once again at the Four Seasons. And it was a really beautiful event, really beautiful brunch. But the point of it was for us to come together to talk about manifestation, to talk about establishing business credit, and truly dominating life and finances using other people's money. Now, whether you do it as a financial dominatrix or you're just coming to talk about, you know, business consulting for like a coaching business or consulting business or retail or something similar. We have really nice events, so that schedule will be released very soon. So if you're a new Dom, especially if you're a new student with us, I will expect to see you at least at one of these events, and that schedule will be coming soon. So the importance of travel, getting yourself out there, even connecting with us for those kind of opportunities is really, really imperative and really, really important. Now, before I forget, I wanted to pull one of my questions from one of my students before I go in too deep. Uh, 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 uh. Right on time. So this is a question from one of my students on here on the AfroDomme Network. If you do want to join us, classes are still available. We do have some seats left over for the fall. Now, please keep in mind, I do have to say, the time of this recording, it is September 21st, okay, 2023. You guys know I just said my annual vacation is in November. And if you didn't hear me, it's in November. I will be shutting doors October 31st for the AfroDomme Network. So this will be our last round of classes from September 21st today at the time of this recording to October 31st is the last opportunity that you will have to get in on our classes for this year. After November, you may have to wait until January minimum. So make sure you guys text and tap in. It is Instadom to 443-543-6946. Now, the young lady's question, and right on time if I do mine. I am traveling and requested how much I need, assuming that she's talking about requesting money from a side. I'm traveling and requested how much I needed. What should I tell him it's for? So this is very timely because I was just speaking about travel. So assuming that she's more so referencing the fact that she has some type of vacation, trip, or travel coming up, she requested a certain amount of money from a sub. And what should I tell him it's for? More than likely, if this is the kind of gentleman that either wants to know what it's for or you think you'll need to have to tell him something about it, He may not be a fence up. This sounds like more of a sugar daddy kind of situation, an older man who wants to know your business. And it's no shade, no tea, but there are just different kinds of men when it comes to this femdom dynamic. And for me, this sounds like a sugar daddy. This sounds like somebody who wants to be in your business. If you ask for a certain amount, let's say you ask for $1,000, they're gonna want to know what it's for. Not to be in there, not in like a negative sense all the time, but maybe just um, a busybody, an old man, someone who wants to, maybe he feels better about giving you this kind of money when you're like a damsel in distress or something like that. So my advice would be first read the room. If you feel like, answering the question, you're traveling, you've requested us how much money you wanted or how much money you needed, what should you tell him it's for? Um, Read the room. Is this the kind of guy that's going to need you to be like, oh, I had an emergency and I just need some money to, take care of this emergency. My car was towed or something happened. I need to put my car in the shop or one of those kind of things where he feels like he needs to rescue you. Then go that route. Maybe don't use such a drastic, kind of answer or like the car accident thing, but something like that where you need to be the damsel in distress and he's going to give you this money because you're the damsel in distress. He's going to swoop in and rescue you and save you and be like, oh, here's the money. Then go that way. But if you think that he's more so like a trick, like he doesn't give a fuck that if you ask for $1,000 and you just blow it on fucking shopping, he's not going to care. He's going to blow a load to that and keep it pushing. He likes it. Then go that way. So you have to read the room, right? And the point of my teaching for a lot of you, well, really for all of you, is to not rely so much on knowing what to say, if that makes sense. Because I know that there are other people, other groups, other organizations, sororities, etc., teaching Findom classes that rely on scripts and more so selling scripts. I do not sell scripts. My philosophy and my experience in education outside of financial domination gives me a lot more experience in the classroom with students of multiple learning abilities and needs. So I feel like, especially in this industry, teaching you to rely on a script or asking for what to say, and no shade, no tea to anybody who does, because if you need some help and you're just getting started, of course, I'll give you something, to juice up your imagination as I'm doing with her. But I don't want you to rely on knowing what to say, having the perfect words, trying to fit it together and be perfect. The ideology that makes my philosophy with financial domination and approaching men using psychology, reverse psychology, color manipulation, sound manipulation, fetishes, kinks, etc., to get what you want out of men, manipulate life, move through frienddom and this kind of industry, relies very heavily on getting to know your target. And the more you know your target, the better you are able to communicate and manipulate. So in this case, if you're asking for a certain amount of money, first and foremost, it better be over $1,000. And if it's not $1,000, you need to make it $1,000. Be like, whatever happened, whatever your pretty excuses, if you have to go the damsel in distress route, whatever previous excuses, the price went up. So now you need even more money if it's not already $1,000 request, right? But in this instance, you should know or be working up to it. Because if this is a new relationship, then fine. You're just speeding things up and getting your money fast. I'm here for it. You should know, though, who your client is or who your target is and what kind of man they are. Are they going to fall for the damsel in distress, or do they not care that you want to go shopping with it or that you're traveling? Can you be brutally honest with them and say, I'm asking you for $1,000 because I'm about to go blow that shit on vacation with my ass out and not give a fuck about you or call you in about like 2 months or so? Or do they need you to be like, oh my God, oh, I was just about to go do something, and I had this large amount of cash from the bank. I was moving around money for my business, and I lost the envelope. I'm short of $1,000. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Uh, are you gonna give me the money? Can you sponsor it? Or have him kind of come in and save the day where he's like, oh no, babes, you lost $1,000. Oh my God, why were you walking around with that kind of money anyway? It's like, oh, you should have been there to protect me. What am I gonna do? I need that money. Now he needs to swoop in and save the fucking day or whatever. You should know if what kind of guy he is. Study your target and know what kind of guy he is, because that's how you're going to manipulate him. If you don't already have a file on this man, you need to make a file on this man. I said it in my last video, and we'll talk about a little bit about it right now. Make a file on every single man that you interact with, as a financial dominatrix, as a Findom, as long as it's not like a romantic way. But really, you can even do this with men that you see romantically, that you date romantically, because it helps you stay on top of the game. Even in dating senses, this is like the law of the land for being a dominant woman and a feminine dominant woman, getting what you want out of men and getting what you want out of life. So take it how it resonates, apply it how you need to. Apply liberally. Yeah. Create a file on all of the men that you entertain, all of the subs, all of the potential clients, even if it's a one-off thing. And as you continue to talk to this man and get to know this person, you should be spending more of your time building that file. If you don't know how to get the money from him, you don't know enough about this man. If you don't know what triggers this man to send you money or to send, you don't know enough, right? Is it foot pictures? Is it fetish content? Is it general conversation? Does he get off on pretending that he's your boyfriend or thinking that he's courting you? Or is he a chaser? Is he a romantic person? What makes him tick? And why is he attracted to you? And how can you get what you want out of him? What do you need to say, wear, look like, smell like, sound like, in order to press those buttons and make it happen inside of his mind? Okay, so spend some time practicing with either or the damsel in distress or I'm blowing your fucking money, because those are two examples. Figure out which one or what sweet medium of the two that you need to use, and then start building your file so that you have more confidence. Because if you can do it with this guy, you can do it with the next. If you can get one person to send you $1,000, you can get 100 more. If you can get one person to send you $1,000, you can get 100 more. Trust. So, in alignment with this, because I talked about travel and events. Oh, and before I forget, I also want to put together like a small group chat for those of us who are already in the network inside the server. I want to put together like a small group chat or whatever for us to talk about next year's possible trip. I really want to go international this time. So when I say you got to get a fucking passport, I feel like I want to make that a minimum requirement of the social club for 2024. I really do. I really want to set us in talking about elevation and elevating the network and elevating all of the women in our community while we're here talking about manifesting and creating more money. I really want to set this up to like 25 and over. And you have to have a passport. Right? Because I want nothing in 2024. I want nothing but bougie, rich, sophisticated, sexy, intelligent, bad bitches next to me. And I feel like if you don't match that description, I really can't fuck with you. And I don't think I gotta apologize for that. So I feel like that's how we're gonna carry it for 2024. So in alignment with this, you need a passport. You need to start traveling. If you're doing international trips, say for example, you go to New York, take the train to New York, catch a plane to New York, you're in New York. First and foremost, you need to be finding some doms who are also in New York. I know some amazing ladies in New York, some amazing ladies from New York who are doing their thing. Veterans who've been in this industry for 10, 15 plus years, who are doing incredible things overseas, international, really dope, really professional. Really professional. But you need to start traveling. You need to connect with these people in these different cities. Go see this scene over here. Go see that scene over there. Take your ass to DC. Go to the Crucible. Take your ass to the Baltimore Playhouse and the King Studio 29. Right? Start moving around the map. And if you can't do that yet, start planning to do it. Move as if you can do it. Speak to the subs that that you have and that you're attracting and that are coming to you as if they have the ability to do this. Because if this is the kind of clientele that you want, you have to start moving different. One thing that I learned after making my first $10,000 in financial domination is what I was doing to get the $10,000 was only good enough to get me to that $10,000. If I was ever going to learn how to take that one $10,000 tribute that I got and turn that into $100,000 or more, I had to change damn near everything about myself. I had to change my mentality. I had to change the way I ate. I had to change the way I looked at money. I had to change my self worth, my thinking around money, me investing in my education. And it all works out for the benefit, of course, but you have to move differently. So if you're in that transitional phase, know that a part of this with the traveling and getting to know the clients and investing more time into building those relationships with those clients. Because that's another thing with making money. I haven't addressed it very particularly in today's conversation just yet, but the underlying message is that the key to making money is moving around, traveling, but also manifesting and investing time into getting to know your targets. It is a big part of this. And a lot of people don't present it that way, right? This is the glitz and glam, and this is the underbelly. I'm giving you underbelly that a lot of people don't give. A lot of people don't give it for free either. Okay? So, knowing that if you're in this spot and you're ready to evolve, you're ready to grow, now's the time to be really, really serious with yourself. Do you have a business plan in action? Do you have a business plan at all? Do you have anything related to your business, your job, your career, your side hustle here on paper so that you can document your growth, so that you can see this is where you started? A, 0 followers, no clients, no income. 2, D, investing in yourself, growing, scaling, learning the game, learning marketing, playing around with it, meeting your first client, making your first $10,000, setting yourself up for success and longevity in this community. So A to Z. Do you have an A to Z? If not, what is your A to Z? You have to plan, you have to prepare. It has to get out of your head and onto paper. Otherwise, it won't be real. Right? So, this more so is a conversation for me about weeding out those of us in the room who not necessarily aren't serious, but this just is not the right time. It's not in alignment with you. Right? And it's fun to say once you learn something, whether or not it's ever for you, because I mean, it's people can consent and not consent at any time. But truly, this is weeding out the people who are in the circle or in the room who are not serious or who just are not ready to continue at this time. And it's not shade or tea to anyone, but I've been in this industry quite long enough to know there are times where I sell tickets to events that are expensive and that are not expensive. And there's always times where a large amount of students buy the ticket, but then don't show up for class. And there are some students who buy the ticket, show up to class, but then don't participate. And there are some who will buy the ticket, show up to class, participate sometimes, but then don't really put the work in and give up too soon. And then there are some students who buy the ticket, show up for class, do the work, stay in it for the long run, and make a lot of fucking money. And each student is different based on whatever needs, whatever thing, emotional things are going on, financial, right? We all can find a million reasons not to do something. But today's conversation is to one, give you a real look at how you can truly scale yourself up and start to scale yourself up in this. And two, showing you the level of commitment that you need to have if you're going to make a lot of money. Because it is possible, but it will take a different side of you. It is possible, but you can't make excuses of not wanting to film content just because you're not making sales, right? Your clip sales haven't sold in a week, but you are not posting anything new. You can't make excuses like that. You still have to keep posting. You can't make excuses of, oh, I'm tired or I'm sick. And some things, yes, do require self care. It's important to make sure that you're resting. But like I said, there's a million reasons to not do something. This is hard work at its core. And it would be the same for any other industry. It would be the same for any other business endeavor. It would be the same for any other job. It would be the same for you trying to scale yourself to six figures in the corporate sector, right? It's going to take a different side of you to get the results that you want. And if you're serious about them, it will happen. Simply because one, you willed it so, two, you're doing the work, and three, you continue to show up, even when it doesn't look like it's working, because you're no longer seeking instant gratification as a Findom. $1,000 days will eventually lose its appeal to you if your goal is now six figures. If your mind is on $100,000 or more in financial domination in this room, eventually $1,000 days are going to become so normal to you that it's really not a lot of money anymore. You can burn $1,000. I know for me, I can burn $1,000 in an hour, maybe less. I can burn $1,000 in 30 minutes sometimes, maybe even less than that. But when you get it very quickly and you have systems set up for you to have that kind of cash flow, it's to your benefit. But now you have lived this like rich bitch, pretty privileged lifestyle where you have to move a little bit differently in order to maintain this money. You have to move a little bit differently to manage this money. You have to move a little bit differently to make sure that you're protecting yourself and protecting your business. Okay? And you gotta hustle different. Hustle different. One of the biggest things that I've learned from one of my personal mentors, Madam Caramel, is that in alignment with no excuses, there's always something that you can create out of nothing. So on your good days, film content, get dressed, shoot the videos, go live, talk. When you don't feel like it, fucking shoot foot fetish content, smoke fetish content. That's one of the things I used to do all the time when I first started filming clips and was really trying to put myself out there as a financial dominatrix. Because back then I was working two jobs, I was in school full time, right? I had all of the excuses not to show up, but I would still make content, I would still make videos, and they would be smoke videos where I'm literally looking, not even looking at the camera's positioned over here, I'm over here watching TV, just smoking. And they would sell like fucking hotcakes. And if I had not done that, right, if I had made the excuses about being tired, about not having the time, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to wear, not having the perfect this, the perfect that, that's money that I would have wasted out on, missed out on. And quite honestly, I wouldn't be the person I am in front of you, even talking to you about how to make six figures in financial domination. So, if you're in this point of stage in your life and your career with this, that you're ready to change, take inventory of what's held you back. How many times did you, quite honestly, feel the urge to create content but didn't do it? Or to go to an event and didn't do it? Or to take the class and didn't show up? Or to take the class or want to take the class but never buy the ticket? Or watch the video but not follow up and text me to get into the class, right? And for me, I've been there. I'll be a broken record on it. There was once a mentor that I worked with back in college. when I first started Financial Domination, she had a retreat in Paris. And it was, I think, a couple $1,000s, $3,000 for a week in Paris. Never been to Paris before. A week in Paris to not only be in Paris, in a fucking castle, in a fucking castle, in a fucking castle in Paris, but also be receiving a level of information and coaching and mentoring from this beautiful woman who's done so many incredible things in the mainstream industry, who's been in Essence magazine, who's hosted the Essence Fest, who's taught lectures and things at all of these high profile places. Thanks to her, I'm in books on the mainstream side of for the AfroDomme Network for my work in this community. Thanks to her. And it's like back then, the opportunity was so good to me. I knew the value of it. I knew it was going to be really good opportunity for me. But I didn't take it because I didn't have no fucking money. I didn't have no fucking money. I was still broke, bitch. $1,000 in a day was a lot of money back then to me. I just said it's now I can spend $1,000 in 30 minutes. $1,000 in 30 minutes to the bitch I was 5-6 years ago. Wow. Yeah. So I didn't go. And I always talk about this in interviews because I feel like if I had started all that long ago, when I really wanted to, if I had just found a way to make it happen, if I had something like the coaching that we have inside of the AfroDomme Network now, the mentoring, the sister support, the love, the information, the money, the clientele. If I'd have known that it would have led to this and I could have done it a few years even earlier than I've done it, I could have been like so fucking rich right now. I could have been like a fucking millionaire right now. I could have been on like Miss Fox level Findom millionaire by now. Okay? Like, what? What? Now we're gonna get there. Trust and believe we are, slowly but surely. But you get the point. Like, you never really know until you know. So, like, are you gonna pussyfoot around or are we doing this? Do you want the money or not? Scared money don't make no fucking money. It's about to be the first of the month again, bitch. It's about to be the first of the month again. First of the month come every 30 days. It's never gonna stop, boo. They gonna still keep asking for that rent. You gotta get some money. And if you're not resonating with this video, I don't even know why you're here. You gotta get some money. So if you're ready to get some money, you gotta move different. And if you're ready to move different, you got to get off your ass. No excuses. Now, I think I got one more question, but I want to make sure. And I did see your comment earlier, but I was in the whole midst of my sentence. So hello, thank you for joining us. Good evening. Mm, 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 mm. While it's on my mind, since we're on the subject of elevation as well, and I think this will be my last point of the evening, and I'm gonna smoke. um, Another big part of scaling yourself, once you realize that you're ready for it, once you have like a clear plan of action on paper, a big part of it in the manifestation side of it, um, a big part of it becomes how you move after that, right? So once you take this information, say you watch today's video and what you got from it is you are truly ready to scale yourself. You are truly ready to um, move to a higher level of finances in this. A big part of it is going to be how you move after it. Are you going to take this kind of information and sit on it, or are you going to take immediate action in order to make something happen. Someone said, have you ever had luck with finding pay pigs on FetLife? First and foremost, I don't believe in the term pay pig, but have I ever been able to find high value clients on FetLife? I have. Pay pigs, in my opinion, as a professional, are men of a very low standard and quality in financial domination. Those are not the kind of men I get vacations out of, I get my car note paid out of, I get my rent paid out of. Um, Most of those clients that I was able to meet on FetLife met me through events that were on FetLife, which emphasizes the point of travel for today's conversation, and networking, because you can do it online. FetLife is a shit show online, but there are people who you can meet um, in safe spaces and public events in the kink community who are really genuine, who are really sweet, really respectful, and will turn into very high value and profitable clients for you. But going to events as a new Dom, if you don't have prior training, is not advisable. And you may not think that that's something that you need just going to a party, but if you're trying to present yourself as a professional at this party, for example, right? You're trying to go to a munch or a play party as a professional dominatrix, for example, something that you saw on FetLife. The way that you walk in the room at that event says a lot. You can't go as a normal pedestrian or civilian. If you're going to present yourself as a professional, you have to walk in the room as a professional. And that does, for some, take training, especially if you are very introverted, or you don't thrive, or traditionally you have not thrived in spaces that are loud, that are things going on. People are banging each other out on the table, right? If you've never been to one of those kind of parties, going for the first time, and also trying to go for the first time as a professional in that same sentence, looking for clients in an environment that you've never been in is extremely overwhelming. Okay, so we talk about these kind of things inside of the AfroDomme Network because not only these are the things that make you successful, but these are the hidden sides or underbelly of our work that a lot of people don't see. There are policies and procedures and methods of safety that you also need to use while traveling as well, so that you're not lost. And I'm not going to spread my girlfriend's business out there, but one of our board directors even had that experience herself where she was traveling to Baltimore for the first time and had some snafus with her transportation. And it was a frustrating experience for her, but a learning experience nonetheless, because you have to be prepared for anything when you're moving like this in this industry. You're no longer the pedestrian. Mm-mm. At least not in that kind of environment, at least not in that kind of situation. So the way that you carry yourself from now on, in order to, one, make money, two, scale yourself, to find those whale subs, those whale clients, like you said was your goal, everything must change. If you're going to the airport, dress up, no bonnets. If you're at the train station, dress up, no bonnets. Pay attention, eyes up, open, have some coffee, smoke some weed before you get there. Keep your eyes up, keep your phone turned on, keep the volume in your ears down so that you can hear. Why? Safety. Two, you should be paying attention to the people around you. If you are moving in this world as a dominatrix on a plane, in business class, in first class, on the train, at the mall, and you are not constantly being observant of your environment and what kind of people are around you, then you are missing out on an opportunity to manifest what you say that you want. You say that you want those clients. You say that you want the well subs. How the fuck are they going to find you if you don't know how to find them? Right? So when you're on the airport, or when you're in the plane, or you're on the train, eyes up, ears open, you should be talking, or you should be friendly, or making eye contact with the gentleman over there in the suit who's texting or typing something. What does he do? How much money do you think he makes? Look at his shoes. What kind of shoes are those? Do you recognize the brand of his shoes? Are they nice shoes? Is he the kind that has cufflinks on, or a nice cologne? Is he well shaved and groomed? Where is he going? Make some type of conversation with him. See what he does for a living. Hear his voice, right? Study your targets and the people around you in every situation. Because when you're ready to scale yourself, this is how you must move in order to be successful. Even if you don't make a move on, for example, on this man that's on this plane or on this train with the nice suit and the cufflinks. Now that you know what you're looking for, you can find men everywhere you go. You can find men everywhere you go. So, most importantly, connect with people who are on the same mission as you. Connect with people who know what they're talking about, and connect with people who you can travel with. One of the reasons I was talking about earlier that I want us to possibly change over our network administration or admin requirements to being 25 and over and having a passport is because it's time for us to travel. I have spent so many years teaching new DOMs, and not that I love y'all, I love all. I've been able to connect with so many of you. I love all of you. 4,000 women, again, single-handedly making that having that kind of impact on this community means a lot to me. It does. It truly. But I'm tired of y'all. Like, I want to travel. Y'all don't want to travel. I always want to go somewhere. Y'all know I want to go somewhere. I'm tired of going on vacations by myself. And I'm not really going by myself if I'm going with my girlfriends, but I'm tired of going on vanilla vacations. I can't be the only one, or I can't be one out of very few in this network who is taking self-funded vacations. It's got to be more of us. It's got to be more of us on these Virgin Islands. It's got to be more of us in these white sand beaches, okay? Kicking ass and taking names, quite literally. I can't be the only one getting my ass kissed by white boys on the beach. Taking subs funds in Jamaica. I can't be the only one, okay? You got to get your passport and you got to get on your shit. So I need women who are ready. I need women who are committed. I need girls who are with the shits. Someone said, great point, six, sis. Mwah, of course. That's what I'm here for. But I really want so much out of this industry, and I know that we have so many people here who are so creative, who can put together imagery, who can put together scenes and environments and play sessions that will be so impactful, and brands and businesses that are just going to be really impactful and unique in this community. And we need more of those people: Black, brown, fat, thick, thin, skinny. But y'all got to come on. Y'all got to be ready to work. We got to go. Vamos, mis amores. Dale. Dale, mis amores. Vale.